Beavers or monkeys? So we're going to be looking into the frog life cycle again. I know you had an idea before by reading the Oscar and the Frog and you did an activity, but we're going to be looking deeper into it. So let's start. Frog eggs are laid in a group in the water by a frog. These eggs hatch into tadpoles. So these are eggs laid underwater. They are in a group, and how do they look like? Yes, they look like eyes, don't they? The tadpole spends its time swimming in the water, eating and growing. Tadpoles have a tail for swimming with, so they have a long tail. And what do they eat? They eat pondweed. Pondweed are like leaves that grow underwater, so leaves are vegetables. So this is why they grow, because they're eating very healthy food. The tadpole sprouts legs, so it grows legs first, and then arms. It has a longer body and a big head, and it breathes underwater. How can it breathe underwater? Can you remember what breathes underwater? Yes, fish breathes underwater. How does it breathe underwater? Remember we took that before? Yes, I can hear you. It has gills. Super class. So it breathes underwater with gills. And then it becomes an adult frog that breathes air and has no tail. So what happened? Now it can breathe air. Can we breathe air with gills? No, we can't. So what happened? The gills disappeared and the frog grew lungs like us because we breathe with our lungs, so as the frog. So it grew lungs to breathe air. This is a real frog. Now let's review the life cycle again. So these are the eggs are laid underwater, and then the tadpole, it has a long tail and eats pondweed. And then the tadpole has back legs, front arms, longer body, big head, and it has gills so it can breathe underwater. And then it becomes an adult frog where the gills disappear and lungs are grown so they can breathe air. Now we're going to be reading some interesting facts about the frog. Frogs have ears. Males, remember when we said males, there are boys, have bigger ears than females, than the girls. And they can be found behind the eyes. Super. So the males have ears bigger than the girls, bigger than the females, and they are found behind the eyes. Frogs drink water through their skin. How interesting. So every time the frog jumps into the water, it's like drinking. Frogs are cold-blooded and hibernate in the winter. So they stay in the winter, hibernate. What else hibernates and stays in a cave? Yes, you are right, the bears. How about the birds? What happened to the birds? A quick review. What do they do? Yes, they migrate. Super. Frogs are amphibians. Amphibians is another big word, and it's to make it shorter for you, it's the animal that has gills and then they grow lungs. This is a paper that you're going to be doing. You can find it on your page, or you can do it in your journals because I'm sure you've got your journals. So the life cycle of a frog: first, it's an egg that is laid underwater, and then a tadpole has a long tail that eats pondweed, and then it grows back legs and front arms, and it has gills to breathe underwater, and then finally it grows into a frog, and the gills disappear and they grow long so they can breathe underwater. This is the end of our presentation. I'm sure you can do a very good job. You can use this paper. You can find it on our page, or you can do it in the journal. Okay, I'm super proud of you, boys and girls. Stay safe and healthy.